Yes, guys, how is it going? SpursRelated here, and what a win. Let's get into things in just a moment. But a 5-1 win against Newcastle at home. Absolutely tailored two halves, really. Poor performance in the first half. Went 1-0 down. Things started to look a bit shaky. We started to think, is this going to be typical Tottenham? But no, second half, we just came out the blocks, 3-1 up in by the 54th minute and went on to win 5-1. And absolutely happy days. Haven't ruined my weekend. Top four still on. Andre, how you feeling?
Well, you know what? Tottenham sat me down today. I know I was being a little hesitant yesterday, but like I said at the end of that podcast, I will never, ever feel bad for being proven wrong when there's certain things that I'm hesitant about. So good job, Tottenham. Good job, Bergwijn, who also scored. Good job to all the players who played their game today. And I got to say, as someone who really stuck out to me, besides the goals themselves, was Romero. What a player today. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, Romero, Kane, Kulusevski. I think there's a number of honourable mentions here. Even Emerson getting a goal. Doherty getting a goal and an assist. I mean, it was absolutely incredible. But let's get into things. Let's get into, the tactical breakdowns maybe and the key stats. But before we do so, as always, let's welcome on in the Spurs Relatables, A and Army as always. Should be like we should have a little sound bar, like A and Army as always. Here he is. Says Doherty is the idol of Roberto Carlos and Cafu. Brilliant. Who thought we'd be saying this? Absolutely no one. Shishan, big up Shishan. Hope you enjoyed the game. He said, big up everyone all the way from the top of the Mount Everest. Big win. Buzzing Arsenal, feeling the pressure. Buzzing COYS. And then Conti, Bodril is in here. Says, evening, guys. What a match. COYS, absolutely buzzing. I'm sure you guys are as well. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal stuff today. Certainly second half, not first half. Elvis is in here. It's a long comment. You can't even see us. Saying, glory, Tottenham Hotspur. Glory, Tottenham Hotspur. I'm happy today. My kids are happy. What a beautiful play. Great performance. We're going in the right direction with Conte. We will definitely win something. That was brilliant. Come on, you Spurs. Spot on, Elvis. Hope you're doing well. And thank you for the comment. He says, beautiful football. Mills in here says, started shaky, came up on top. Great second half. Exactly that. Like, we started off so poor, started slow. Newcastle probably, not necessarily the better team, but we just were really poor, like giving the ball away too easily and not taking many of our chances. And that's what you need, to kick out the backside from Conte at half time. And suddenly these players start playing. I mean, even when we scored just before half time and Ben Davies scored, the momentum changed at that moment. Almost the half time came in a nice way at a point where it's like, well, we're back in this game. We're in the driving seat now. Let's now get Conte to push them on and kick them on. And that's exactly what happened. Luke is saying, even to you all, back the team, always believe. Big up Luka Modric, 14, absolute legend. Leo Bull, Defenders Day today. Yeah, I mean, I was waiting for the Romero and the Romero and Dyer goal for the five at the back masterclass, right? Every single defender scored other than them two. Changing your hairstyle turns you into the man of the match. Yeah, Emerson Royale's haircut is interesting, isn't it? Romero, Kulusevski, Kane, Emerson Royale, big up. Exactly, big these guys up. Exactly that. 100% they were probably the best four for me. Along with probably, you got to put Matt Doherty in there as well. Emerson actually had a good game. I mean, there's so many honourable mentions, really. It's just nice to see that you have to argue over who was the best, really. It's unbelievable.
It's true.
Bergwijn must have been on the live last night, lads. Yeah. I mean,
think so.
Listen, we were saying about giving him a few minutes. He gave him, 15 minutes and delivers a goal. Lucas, good assist as well. Really happy those two are on fire, even from the bench. When we are united and trust the manager, that is what happens. Die for free kicks. Yeah, that was good effort. I thought it went in on the TV angle. I thought it hit a post, but it hit the back post, the stanchion. So, yeah. Big up James and Andre. 100% agree with Andre. Romero was so composed on the ball, but every player was great today. And A&Army's right, says Emil. Conte has his players feeding off the palm of his hands. This is a focused Spurs. They all know their roles. They have a plan. It's looking good. Me, Dyer even looks semi-decent under Conte. Yeah, Dyer, he's a different player under Conte. He's a different player. Rishi's in here. Big up Rishi. Hope you enjoyed the game. Says beautiful match. I'm so hyped. Hope we can remain in the top 4. And I think they need to sub Bergwijn on earlier. I thought Ben Davies was a statue. Conte ball turned him into a player. Absolutely love it. And the comments are absolutely flowing. I mean, I've only just caught up with them. Absolutely love it, guys. Love the hype. Love the energy. But yeah, spot on. And Leo's saying Dyer didn't even feel like giving them a goal today. No, it's solid. I mean, I went 3-1. Kind of, no, I didn't. I went 3-0. So I was actually nowhere near. Andre, you went 3-1.
I went 2-1. 2-1.
Yeah,
I
you said a
could not have been
cagey
more
game.
wrong. Could not have been more wrong. But you know what? I'll say this. One of the biggest reasons why the first half was a little poor was it looked like Newcastle came in to really just park that bus. That's all they were doing. We had possession for most of that, and but we couldn't find any space. The whole team was back there. I was questioning whether or not Mourinho maybe came in for a quick training session right before the match. You know, they really had us in their pockets there, even though we were trying to find space. Wasn't happening, but as soon as they scored that goal and they started pushing up more and felt comfortable, that's when we were able to find the space. And then when they finally went into a losing position and they had to score, that's when they just crumbled, because that defense is very leaky unless they're parking the bus. So
yeah, spot on. And you're right. You're spot on. And also, Army saying that one block from Romero in the first half was so vital. That could have easily killed Romero. What did you think of that block? I was just, that was just unbelievable. The way
all I could think was Irish Hotspur when we were talking about the if Romero still is world class yet,
yeah,
and he's probably sitting there laughing, going like, "You guys, see, I told you." It's like, yeah,
listen,
like
one block doesn't make you world class. One block doesn't make you world class. But at the end of the day, the reactions were unbelievable. Like, it was just so quick the way he just jumped right down, blocked it, and just got right back up and just like no sweat off his back, just smashed. Like, it was just class. I loved it, and that set the tone to really kind of go and kick on. And the fact that we were back to the wall at certain points in that first half, it wasn't good. And they had a couple of corners. There was a free header for Dan Burn. If he did better, he would have scored it. I don't know if you saw it. Went all the way over our defence, and Dan Burn, the tallest player on the pitch by a mile, is there unmarked. But anyway, I don't want to get negative, because like, you can't be negative after a 5-1 win, right? But you know, there's these little things that you have to analyze and say, look, if that was a better team, it could have been very different, but it wasn't. Luckily, we're playing Newcastle today, and 8 games they have played and they haven't conceded over 1 goal. Well, there's all your goals back, Newcastle. We'll have 5 in the back of your net today. That was absolutely lovely. Love that stat, because I just knew that we were going to break it. I was just like, there's no way we're only going to score 1 against these guys. Like, they're really not that good.
Well, I do think that, how would I say it? Newcastle, whatever form they were in, it's looking like that form's over. That's 3 games in a row now that they've lost. This one being the biggest margin so far. They completely made my whole analysis just look absolutely just off the mark, because all we were talking about is those close margins, the fact that they seem to scrape some sort of result, and even when they lose, it's a very tight game. Then they went into this game looking like that was what was going to happen, but then they got a little too comfortable, and you can't get too comfortable in a Conte team, let alone that team that has Son and Kane at the top, just picking each other out like as if they're snipers. So, I mean, the minute that happened and they pushed up a little bit and they gave Son and Kane some space, it was inevitable that was going to happen, let alone the fact that our defenders were the ones that were scoring the goals.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I just can't believe it. Like, you think of the 5 scorers today, 5 different scorers. Ben Davies, no one would have thought he'd score. Second goal, Matt Doherty, was it? Matt Doherty or Son?
That header.
Matt Doherty,
Son almost got it, and then
Matt
Doherty,
no one thought he'd score. Third goal, Son. Okay, yeah, you expect him to get on the score sheet. 4th goal, Emerson.
Yeah.
3 unexpected scorers, and Bergwijn maybe expected after his unbelievable international display. But yeah, it was the talking point yesterday at certain points, and unbelievable. Leo Bull says Spurs scoring 5 without Kane having a single goal. Where's the logic? Absolutely. Like, if you went up to someone in the street and they know basic football and you go, Tottenham won 5-1 today, who do you think scored? Surely you'd say Kane, right?
Yeah.
Kane's got to be one of them. And then obviously you probably guess Son second. And the fact that it's Ben Davies, Emerson, Doherty, Bergwijn, and Son, it's just unbelievable. But listen, I love it. And I love the fact we've got goals everywhere in our team now. I'm not saying that that's going to happen every game, but I'm saying it's nice to see that it could be a factor going forwards. And it's a really, really good point from Leopold. Ayanami saying, I feel like Palace could get a result versus Arsenal. They're quite reliable when it comes to them. And listen, going to Selhurst Park on Monday night, on a night game, is very different to going to Selhurst Park on a weekday. On a Saturday at 3 p.m. It's a very different atmosphere. It's fierce atmosphere at night out at Selhurst Park. It's a brilliant atmosphere under the lights. They've probably got one of the best sets of fans in the league, if I'm being deadly honest. They can get a right going at Selhurst Park. It's not an easy place to go to. Vieira's made them a decent team, solid team. I fancy Arsenal to maybe get a draw here. I fancy Palace to take a couple of points off them. Then Arsenal will be 1 point above us with a game in hand. And, if we play them and then bring it down to 1 point, oh my goodness, it's all to play for. I feel like Man United are out of this race. And I feel like it's Spurs v Arsenal. What do you think, Andre?
Oh, 100%. And it's not surprising. Obviously there's still 8 games in hand, so I'm always going to stay humble, but Manchester United just shot themselves in the foot more than we did, to be honest. Getting rid of Ole halfway through the season, I don't know, was the best decision for them, because this was an Ole team. This is not a Ralf Rangnick team at all.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, I've reiterated this time and time again, but as a Canadian, as a Toronto FC fan, having Chris Armas being an assistant coach in there, someone who was not even good enough for TFC, he made it only 8 games, and he broke a new record for the worst loss in TFC history, and so they sacked him, and now he's over there. This people who didn't know that, it's like do your homework. You should have. I don't know why they brought him in.
Yeah, why they brought this fraud in? Absolutely. Maybe let's discuss, as you like to do, Andre, top 3, bottom 3. I know it's always a tough one, especially after a 5-1 win. Like, where is the bottom 3 in that? But maybe you kick things off. Your top 3 Spurs players today in order of third to second to first best.
Third, second to first. Okay. My third best player, I gotta say, that's interesting, because there's a lot.
I'll start up because I'm gonna think about this. Okay, guys. Also, get in your comments. I'll put a little banner up. Who was your top 3 Spurs players today? Top 3 Spurs players in the chat. Let us know below in the comments, and we will read them out. But I will kick things off and say that third, I am putting Dejan Kulusevski. I thought he had a brilliant game. He was bright again. He got an amazing assist that went back post Doherty. He's also a lovely stat here, which we'll put on Spurs Related in a bit. Since he's come in, no player has assisted more times in the Premier League than him. He has assisted 5 goals since he's been here, and the second most is 4 goals. I think it was like Lacazette or someone like that. That proves that this boy has changed this team. He has changed this team. He is bright. He gets assists. He gets forward. He's not afraid to take a man on. He's got an unbelievable left foot. He can cross a ball, as we've seen against City today on numerous occasions. For me, he's third today. He didn't get a goal, but he did assist and he did play really well. He's third. Second for me today. This is difficult. I thought I had it in my head, but then I'm thinking it's just so. I'm going to stick with what I thought. Second today, I am going to go with Romero. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. He changed the game in terms of at the back. It could have been absolutely so much worse. Especially that point about the block at the end, at the first half. If we conceded that, it could have been a very different game. So for me, that would be second, Romero, and first, he didn't get a goal. He didn't, get his normal, on the score sheet. Harry Kane. He was phenomenal. His passing is ridiculous. Jamie Carragher was hyping him up, and he's so right in doing so. His vision is the best in the Premier League. Clip me saying I really don't care. Kevin De Bruyne, world class on his day. Of course, he's world class. Kevin De Bruyne. You know, there's unbelievable playmakers in the Premier League. Even players like Bernardo Silva, unbelievable. Bruno Fernandes, great at assisting. Liverpool, you look at Liverpool's team, they've got decent playmakers as well. But Harry Kane's vision for a striker to drop deep and play those balls, switch the play, get people through on goal, and just change the whole dynamic of a game in that second half. The amount of completed passes he sprayed round and just got Newcastle's backline all over the place. For me, he is man of the match today for Spurs. Maybe that's an outside of the box choice. I don't know what you guys think. I'm going to read them out in a bit. But that's my top three. Kulusevski, Romero, Kane top. Bang.
Wow. Well, you know what? That's who I was debating, mainly because the only thing I would really switch in there is Romero and Kane. I would actually put Romero as man of the match. I think without him sort of just saving us consistently in the first half, I don't think we would have gone and scored 5 goals. We would have been down by like 2 or 3. I think that he commanded that back line very much so, and even went up many times and gave good crucial passes. And it's looking like Bentancur and Højbjerg are finding sort of their moments to drop back and be that extra defender to cover for him. They've sort of organized themselves in that way now. So now I don't feel as sort of scared when Romero's pushing up that much anymore, because sometimes I don't even notice that Romero's pushed up because Bentancur or Højbjerg are so quick to push back and sort of just cover his position immediately. So it's almost seamless. But yeah, I would say Romero is man of the match for me, number 1. Number 2, I was going to say Harry Kane. I think even though he didn't score a goal, he did so much. He played very deep today. All his passes were really, really good. And yeah, that vision, man, especially that pass to Son. Well, a few times that he passed to Son. I don't know how he so consistently does it from such a far distance, just picks the pass and just literally, it's not even like Son has to really stretch his leg that much. It literally lands on his feet every time.
Exactly.
That's some like next level stuff. That's some like FIFA with pass assist type of on the little sliders there. It's like he has it turned up to 100 for every pass. That's how good it is. And the third one, I was debating between Kulusevski and Doherty, to be honest, but I have to give it to Kulusevski today. I think that he did so much for this team. And again, just the fact that exactly what you were saying about what he's done to this team since he's come in, he's commanded that position. He came in and literally took the reins, and that position is his now. No one can even say, even Bergwijn and Lucas Moura on form, like we were talking yesterday, and no one was saying that he should take Kulusevski's spot. He's earned that position. It's his.
Yeah, absolutely. Spot on. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was about to say I couldn't agree with you more, but the only thing I would change is what I did, like Kane at top and Romero second. I think maybe if Spurs got a clean sheet, I would have gone for Romero. But at the end of the day, we didn't get a clean sheet. So I'm not saying Romero wasn't good because I put him second, but I think just for that reason, Kane just creating so much, I put Kane top. But I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Let's get the Spurs Relatable's thoughts. Before I do so, Sean's in here says, yes, lads, it's been long. How are we doing? Very well, Sean. Absolutely buzzing after that win. I'm sure Andre reflects my thoughts there.
100%.
But yeah, very good to see you. Ayanami saying his top 3 is Doherty, Kulu, and Son. She's put Son in there over. Well, it's actually very different to our our top 3, right? He's putting Doherty and Son over Kane and Romero. Listen, it's a good shout as well. I'm sure you have your points to back that up as well. And that's why it's so difficult when you do a top 3 and bottom 3 when you absolutely annihilate your opposition, because you can justify pretty much any player in that 11 today. Shishant saying, you guys believe we can grab 4th spot? Shishant, I believe we can get 3rd as well, mate. No, I'm joking. Like, in all seriousness, though, I do believe top 4 is really on the cards, especially if we beat Arsenal at home. That's the big moment in this. If we can beat Arsenal, of course, top 4's on. It only goes down to like 3 points, and Arsenal have still got to play tomorrow against Palace. And like everyone's saying, I think that could be a tough game, especially under the lights at Selhurst Park. Leo Ball saying top 3, Kane, Doherty, Romero, bottom 3. Højbjerg, Dyer, and I don't know. Yeah, it's so hard to pick. Listen, we'll get to our bottom three in just a minute. But Kane, Doherty, Romero, very fair points. I mean, Doherty could have easily scraped in over Kulusevski on mine, but I'm going to give it to Kulu. Losing out on Diaz was a blessing in disguise. I have to thank Juventus for Paratici, Conte, Romero, Kulu, and Lolo, Lo Celso, I guess he means. Bobby K, here he is, the main man. How you doing, mate? Yeah, it's been a little minute, but Bobby K saying big up lads and everyone in the chat. COYS, big win, my man. Absolutely huge. We're obviously all buzzing, and top four very much on the card still. It's just that big game against Arsenal, but I think it's worth saying it's a point that Andre made yesterday. We have to focus on each game as it comes. We can't be thinking about that Arsenal game until it comes around. We've still got to beat Aston Villa next Saturday away. Tough game. We still then got to go and beat Brighton at home the next week. There's games that we've got to play and win before Arsenal. We know that. Arsenal fixture hasn't been arranged yet. So we just have to tackle each game as it comes, as we know. Riley Brenton. Riley, if you're new, mate, pleasure to have you here. Big yourself up. If you aren't new, maybe it's been a little while, but listen, he says, I hope we can scrape that top four. It'd be nice to be in Champions League again. It'd be absolutely brilliant, Riley. That is the only goal for this season now. We can't get any trophies. We know that is also kind of our trophy. I know that sounds tragic, but that is our goal. That is our aim. And listen, it would be absolutely amazing if we can do it under such kind of difficult circumstances in a way. Like, we're so far behind at one point, and the fact we've closed it down and actually are in a top four race. It was kind of from 4 teams now down to 2, in my opinion. But listen, Man United may not be completely out of it, but it's certainly Arsenal v Spurs as it stands. But yeah, good to see you, Riley. Ayanami says Lolo is Bentancur. I haven't heard that nickname, have you?
Maybe it's a Uruguayan thing.
Okay. Rude man, my legend. He's saying Marcelino, Theodore, Roadman. Rude man, what a guy this guy is. Sean would be absolutely buzzing. Says, what's up, guys? Son played quite a decent game as well, made quite a few darting runs, and obviously got a goal as well. Listen, Rude man, you're very entitled to say Son in their top 3 as well. I don't think that's a bad shout at all. Son was brilliant, good finish for his goal. Maybe should have scored again. But listen, Son back to being Son, really. Like, he went quiet for a few games, and now back to being that world-class player we all know and love. So, yeah, good point, Rude man. Hope you're doing well, mate. A&M is saying if Chelsea lose to Liverpool and Arsenal, I can see anything happening with this dramatic nature of this league. What do you think of that one, Jay?
100%. I think these next few games we have, all we can do is just get the 3 points. That's all it is. I don't care how we get them. We just need them. We're not in any driving seat. So all we can do is just win these games, and then just wait and see if the teams above us crumble. And it's looking like Chelsea's sort of crumbling at the moment. It's looking like Arsenal, they're a hit or miss depending on what game they go into. So we'll see. It's going to be very dramatic till the end if we continue this. I'm getting a little nervous. It's getting very exciting. I'm trying not to get myself too hyped up, because I swear if we bottle this, I'm going to be, oh my God.
Well, we're not really going to bottle it, because we're technically not in the lead to bottle it. And I think that's where it goes wrong that term. I don't know. The next comment in the chat, and the next question is bottom 3. So we've done our top 3. It's time for the bottom 3. It's so hard when you've won 5-1. Listen, I think this is the hardest question all day. But I've just got a few comments to get through before we do go on to that. Andre, I'm going to give you a little bit of time to think about your bottom 3.
Okay.
Spurs lad, I haven't seen you in a little while, Spurs lad. Hope you're doing well, mate. He says, who was the worst today in your opinion? We're just getting onto that. You have a think about yours. He's going Romero, Kane, Bentancur, Son were my favourite players. Hey, you're only allowed 3, mate. You're only allowed 3. But listen, no, it's very hard to do 3. But Romero, Kane, Bentancur, Son. Bentancur hasn't been mentioned yet. I also had a solid game along with Højbjerg. Listen, we could mention every player. Maybe Lloris had the most questionable performance today, maybe with the free kick. Maybe should have saved that. But then Son gave it away really silly on the edge of the box. So he obviously made amends. And that's probably why I haven't put Son in my top 3, actually, because he did technically give away that goal by giving away a stupid free kick on the edge of the box, in my opinion. Riley says, I'm not new. I remember watching you. I think it was your first stream about a spot being taken from Ndombele and stuff. I've been in hospital. It's been hard to watch YouTube, but I dropped in a few times. Oh, you've been in hospital. Sorry to hear that, man. I hope you're all good. And I hope you're on the mend for whatever it is. But listen, massively appreciate you guys coming back, maybe from the January transfer window, it sounds like. Yeah, that must be January transfer window when we're talking about Ndombele and stuff like that. So he says, appreciate you guys update. No, mate, we appreciate you being here. Like, these streams are nothing without you guys. So we really do appreciate all the people in there. I believe there's 20 of you around that across all socials at the moment. So big yourselves up. Share it with your friends if you've got Spurs friends. You know, we are still quite a small channel, so we are just trying to grow as much as possible. Myself and Andre on this journey. Leo Bull saying, I think Bergwijn deserves a chance to start on Sunday. Now, listen, Leo, I've got to disagree with you on this one. I'm not saying you're wrong, but for me, that starting 11 was brilliant today. The only thing I changed if he's back is putting Reguilon back and putting Doherty on the right wing back and putting Emerson on the bench because, listen, Kulusevski is playing so well right now. Bergwijn comes on and makes an impact and was good in international duty. That's brilliant that we've got that form on the bench. But I don't think it justifies the start just because he's come on and scored. Like, Kulusevski, for me, was in the top 3 today. Like I said it already. I would still stick with Kulusevski. What do you think on this one, Andre?
100%. I also think that if you want to be in Tottenham's team, Tottenham's squad, you should be burying those. That should just be the bare minimum. If you get a chance a one-on-one like that, that should go in. So yeah, good job, Bergwijn, for scoring a one-on-one. I'm not going to downplay it. It is good. He put himself
Lucas
in a good
deserves credit. Lucas deserves credit.
Lucas deserves credit. But yeah, if he missed that, obviously it's like, what the heck? So, but no, good job. I'm happy Bergwijn is scoring. It's good to see that we have some people on the bench who can make an impact.
Absolutely, spot on. And I'm saying worst I would say is Lloris, but I don't think he was shambolic. Just a few suspect moments, the free kick, and how far he was going out. Yeah, he got himself stranded a lot of the time and came right out into no man's land against another opposition. It could have been a different story. You're very right. Wing backs absolutely make us top 3 team in the league for sure. It improves us massively. You guys know any proper wing backs besides Lamptey and Jed Spence? I was thinking Rafael Guerrero from Dortmund. He's a decent player, can actually take free kicks as well, I believe, and I think he could be a good little player. But there's not loads of wingbacks. Obviously, we're linked with Hakimi at one point. I don't think that's completely true. I don't think that's a tier 1 source for sure. But listen, the rumors are going to start to spice up. I'm sure we can review what kind of wingbacks we can look at, especially on that especially on that right wingback position. But then Doherty's coming to his own, maybe answered our question for us. So listen, it will be an interesting look towards the summer. I'm absolutely excited for the summer. We've got big things coming up on this channel in the summer. I can tell you that for nothing. So guys, obviously stick around for that. Tabby was saying if we can clone Harry Kane, we can win the league. Lloris, I said yesterday, I think Galini's better. I think Galini's better. He only scored 1 goal versus Chelsea, but Lloris was scored more goals. Sell Lloris, guys. Lucas is still a beast. Listen, Tapiwa, I'm gonna have to agree with one of your points and disagree with the other point. Definitely don't sell Lloris because he's still unbelievable. He made one mistake today, and at the end of the day, like I said, Son should never have given away a free kick on the 18-yard line. And the second point is, Lloris has been brilliant this season and last season for us. He was probably our best player, other than obviously Harry Kane. Do not sell Lloris. Wait till we got on a better player. Galini is not better than Lloris. However, at this point, Lucas is still a baller. I agree with this. Lucas is still a brilliant player. So that's what I'm going to have to say. I suppose I'm saying I'm good having COVID at the minute. Bottom 3. Sorry to hear you got COVID. Hope you're getting well soon on the first point. He said bottom 3, Emerson, I know he scored. Lloris, Højbjerg doesn't do enough, in my opinion. Listen, I think that's fair enough, that bottom 3. I really do. I'm still trying to think of mine. I hope Andre's got his. Galini needs to go. Sorry, Andre.
Oh, no, I was going to say I more or less have mine, so okay. I'm ready whenever you are.
Cool, I'll just catch on these comments, but he can't start in the presence of Kulu, correct? I feel like Bergwijn should stay. You can't get into the squad since we're in such a hard situation. And we have to play our best 11 every week. However, there will be new opportunities next season. I just don't know how I feel about Bergwijn. If we get the offer, I think... I know it's mad to say after he scored again today. But I just think, like, we know with Bergwijn, he can go off the boil, and I just think if we get offered the money, we'll never be able to sell him for more than that. I don't think, but it's a tough one. It is a tough one. Lucas did assist Bergwijn, but he gave the ball away a lot of times with dribbling. Spencer's always in mind for right wing back. Can you guys name the 3 possible candidates for our new left wing back? Oh,
Is there a need for that position right now? I don't think so, unless Reguilon leaves, which I don't know if that'll happen.
yeah, I mean, it is definitely a tough one because, like I said, there's not too many wing backs that will certainly be available in the summer, unless of course things change. But listen, I think Andre's right. There's not. I think right wing back is what we should be looking at more than left wing back. I think we got Sessegnon and Reguilon. Unless one of them leaves, I don't think left wing back is the one we need to focus on. To be honest. Leo said I would have put Davies at left wing back and had Rodon fill the space, but Emerson finally had a decent game. Listen, I think that's what everyone was saying before the game. Why is Rodon not going into left centre back and Davies on left back where he used to play? But Conte masterclass again. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to bring the best out of his team.
Yeah.
Wow, the comments, guys. There's so many comments. I'm loving it. Emil's saying, I think Lucas needs a confidence boost, maybe, but I don't think his ability should be overlooked. He is a baller. Yeah, exactly, Emil. Like, he shouldn't be overlooked. We all know what Lucas can do. And listen, he can go quiet at times. Like, we're not just gonna pretend he doesn't. But at the end of the day, people going, oh, we're Bergwijn. Lucas put it on a plate for him. He was 1-on-1 to literally finish a chance, like Andre said. Like, I think a lot of credit has to go with Lucas for that little run and then and the ball through. Couple more comments and then we will get to the bottom 3. I know Andre is very eager to get his bottom 3. I can tell in his eyes he's eager. And obviously, I don't see the point in selling Lloris. We've hardly get any money, and his experience can be used to nurture a young goalkeeper with top class advice. Spot on, couldn't agree more. What do you think Skip fits in when he's back? Who does Conte drop? I just don't think he drops anyone. You keep it how it's going. It's successful at the moment. 3 wins on the bounce. We haven't had 3 wins in the bounce for a long, long time. Certainly since Conte's come in. So just keep it how it is. Skip has to go to the bench, unfortunately, until he's A, fully fit, or B, someone makes a mistake in the first 11, Højbjerg or Bentancur. And I just don't think that's going to happen unless we've changed the formation for maybe a bigger game and play a 3-5-2, but then you've got to drop Kulusevski or Son. So there it is. Leopold says, is Adama going to still be an option this summer? Ending these comments now. Hopefully not. Right. Bottom 3 performance Spurs players. Over to you, Andre.
Well, let's see. First, I'm gonna start with the number 1, just because to me this is the one that sticks out the most. And just to preface this, guys, just because it's bottom 3 does not mean that they were terrible. Just in a very, very good performance overall. We just have to pick the ones that were trickling at the bottom of that good team. I'm gonna go with Bentancur. I think picking a fight, that's not smart. I don't know what the hell he was doing there. You saw that fight that broke out, right?
Yep.
Joe Linton ended up pushing him, which I'm glad it did, because who knows what would have happened. He might have done something that got him a red. Bentancur, I don't know what St. Maximum said or what exactly happened right before, but Bentancur was the one who started approaching him with his forehead and everything. And I'm just like, oh no. I was half expecting a red card in there at some point until Joe Linton literally saved Tottenham from going a man down because he pushed him, and just that completely broke the play, and then all the players circled in. So to me, that's very irresponsible on Bentancur's part to start doing that, because at the moment, I think we were winning 2-1, or were we tied 1-1? It was somewhere there. It was still a close game. So doing things like that at that point, no. So he makes my bottom 3 just for that reason. I would say my next player that makes the bottom 3 would be Højbjerg. I don't think I saw much of him. He did some good passes, but overall, it was just a very average performance. I don't really remember seeing anything crazy going on. But sometimes depending on how the game is going, that's just the position you're in. You just have a performance where you're just sort of chilling. But I would prefer an average performance where I didn't see much of you than a really crap performance where you stick out like a sore thumb.
Correct.
So I would rather that. And then I was debating between Dyer and Lloris just because of the mistakes that were made from both. I think when Romero had to come in and save some mistakes during the first half a few times, because I think there was one where Willock, or was it Willock, or one of those players, like he ran through Davies and Dyer, and then Romero came in and saved it at the last second because it was going in. Those were things that I just it really made me think. I'm like, we need more center backs that are Romero's quality, because clearly the only reason at the moment that we are only losing by 1 goal is because Romero's out there saving their asses the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those
Very fair.
those would be my bottom 3. But Bentancur mainly, that was the easiest one to pick for me because of that. And Emil, you're correct. He had no business getting in his face like that. But it happens. You get into your emotions and everything. But I really hope that Conte calls him out for it and goes like, how could you even sort of debate getting into his face like that? Because if you watch the replay, I don't know what Maximum did, but Bentancur started that. He went up to him with his forehead and started doing that, whatever it is that they like doing, where they literally clash heads.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was very unimpressed with him for that.
Okay, so you've got you've gone Bentancur is your worst. Then you said Højbjerg a second.
Yeah.
And a third.
And then I went with Dyer instead of Lloris. I just thought that Dyer, even though he had a good performance, I think there were a few mistakes in there where he was letting players go through him. Whether that was a
first
Dyer
half.
Yeah, a lot of times it was Romero saving them more so after they went through Dyer.
Correct. Yeah, I agree. First half Dyer wasn't good.
What saves Davies from making my bottom 3 is his goal.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Again, I've just got to say these bottom 3 doesn't mean they played necessarily horrendously. I'm at the end of the day we've won 5-1, so I know this question is probably the hardest one of the show. But bottom 3, I'm going to have to say bottom. I'm going to agree with you. Bentancur for me. Mainly, I don't think it's necessarily to do with that beef that happened on the sideline. For me, Bentancur wasn't pulling the strings as much as he normally does. And I think a lot of that reason actually is because Harry Kane dropped so deep and was actually doing that role for him and pulling the strings for him and really like dominating midfield. Harry Kane was dominating midfield. Like, we know it as Spurs fans, that happens. But from maybe a neutral point of view, people don't realize that Kane just drops deep so much. So for me, Bentancur at the bottom. Second bottom, I'm going for Lloris. I'm going slightly different to Andre here because, listen, he conceded 1 goal, but his positioning scared the shit out of me again. I don't know why he's going on like runs outside the edge of his box to the side. Like, if he lost it, it's a goal for the other team. And obviously, he probably should have saved the free kick like the Wall did their job. They stood on the left-hand side of the goal. He had to cover the right-hand side of the goal, or his left, and he just completely spooned it. He should have saved it. It wasn't exactly the most powerful shot. So for me, I'm going to go for Lloris second worst. And then third worst, I'm either going to agree. I'm probably going to agree with you on this one. It's either Dyer or Højbjerg. I'm going to go Højbjerg again, probably for a similar reason that, he broke stuff up, but not as much as normal. I think Højbjerg's had really, really good games against Man United when we lost 3-2, and against Brighton, he really broke the play down and really controlled the midfield. Today, I thought it was, especially in the first half, all over the place. And I do think a lot of that is down to the midfield. And therefore, if I'm going with the 3 worst players, you've got to look at that first half where we were a bit shaky and we were poor. And I'm going with the midfield too. And then Lloris for the mistake on the free kick and the couple of times where he came out and did scare me. So that is my bottom 3: Bentancur, Lloris, and Højbjerg.
No, those were good points. I didn't even think of that when it came to Lloris. He did scare me a few times. There was that one where he ran outside the box, and then he didn't even get the ball, and he was just running back. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? But then luckily, Newcastle is not Liverpool or Man City level, so they did not capitalize on that. But had it been a bigger team, that would have gone in. No goalie.
Yeah. Yeah, spot on. SpursRelated saying, do you think Arsenal fans are deluded with the Ben White Romero debate? Absolutely. These guys, Romero's clear. Romero's clear at Ben White. Romero is so clear at Ben White. It's a joke. Favely, welcome on in. It says this game reminds me of the game against United last season in some sort of way. I guess you mean the 6-1 at Old Trafford, and listen, nearly was the same scoreline, right? But certainly you're right. That first half was very close against Man United, and then second half we did dominate. So yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. Favely, it's a really good point. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. But guys, that is the review of the top 3, bottom 3. It's been a pleasure to see your guys' comments on this as well. Andre, maybe any final concluding points about the game today?
Well, I was thinking actually something we could add here is we could rate the entire team performance out of 10. What would you give it out of 10?
What, every single player or just the whole team?
Just the team in general, the team performance. I think that would be a good way to always end it off.
If you're going first half and second half, I've got to say first half, I'll do an average at the end. First half, 5 out of 10. Second half, 9.5 out of 10. Like, it's pretty perfect. So on that sense, if you do the average and my maths is correct, that's like a 7.25 out of 10. So I'm going to round it up. I'm going to go for a 7.5. Actually, I'm rounding it up because it's Sunday and we've just won and we're back in the top 4 race. You know, we're not going to say back in the top 4 race. The top 4 is still on. I'm going for an 8 out of 10 performance today.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar, but you know, I'm going to go with an 8.5 just because we dominated right at the end. We put in 5. We made it so comfortable for us. And besides the mistakes that we did make around here and there, it literally is look like we're sort of being those movie critics who are looking for the mistakes. Like we have to look for the mistakes in order to get some stuff because that's how good the performance was today. And although the first half was a little, you know, it was a little bit shocking, you know, we weren't doing much. It really was one of those things where we were just waiting for Newcastle to open up because they were parking the bus. And for any team, it's hard to score when you're parking the bus. But as soon as they opened up, we took the chances. So I'm liking the fact that the whole reason why we're getting these huge margins now consistently, more or less, is because we are finally doing the thing that we've been saying for weeks, which is that we don't want to see all these chances just get squandered. We're actually getting those chances and putting them in. So we just got to keep that going. So I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. I'm going to go.
Love it. Love it. 8.5 out of 10, 8 out of 10. The main thing is 3 points out of 3. Top 4 is still on, baby. We just have to beat Aston Villa next week away. We then have to beat Brighton at home. We just have to keep winning these games that are coming around the corner and hope that Arsenal slip up. That's all we can do at the moment until we play them in the league at home whenever the date is going to be arranged. It remains to be seen. But guys, there's 20 of you at the end of this YouTube live. Obviously, this will be a podcast later on. Guys, if you do like, actually, just very quickly, if you do like listening to podcasts, these kind of videos, as well as all our other ones, do go live after the video ends a couple of hours after on Spotify, Apple Pods. So if you're at work and you can't watch our podcasts, you can always put an earpod in and listen to it if you want afterwards. I know I sometimes do that, listen to podcasts at work while I'm working. So there's obviously an option there. And the other thing is we've got some very exciting videos coming up. We have got another Spurs quiz coming up. I know you guys absolutely love them. Some point next week, I know we're doing one on Dave's channel, Irish Hotspur. So look out for that on the community section. We'll announce that. We've also got lots of videos in store, as well as, of course, next week, building up to that Villa game away. The games keep coming. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for all your comments and your support. As always, please do leave a like if you enjoyed the video and you are buzzing with the top 3. Top 3? Wow, I'm getting ahead of myself. Top 4, road. Subscribe if you're new. I've seen a few more faces today. Please do subscribe and stay tuned. Andre, thanks for joining me as always.
Thank you. I'm always happy to be here. Love it.
Absolutely love it, guys. And like I said, I'm going to say it again. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. You've been absolute legends. It's always a pleasure reading out all your comments. And guys, do remember, come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs!
Top 3, I'm calling it. saying Van Kevin, double